Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today it's going to be more of an authentic vlog type video, just sharing what I'm currently going through on my journey, and maybe that will give you a reflection or something relatable to use on your own journey. So let's just start with recently I have been going through winter's really approaching. Winter's been here for me for a few months. And I've been really going from really experiencing the polarities of light and dark. As you guys know from some of my more recent videos, I went to, a little bit of darkness and learned a lot about it and how to just even surrender even more to it, and how our darkness does have value, and how embracing and opening to the darkness is what's always being called for when we're in a lower or darker state, or when we're being overcome by anxiety, fear, anger, sadness, grief, guilt, jealousy, you name it, all these lower emotions. So a couple nights ago, I found this place of peace finally in my mind, right? Here's the key, in my mind. And I was like, oh, I feel pretty good. And I was like, I'm trying to hang on to this, because I had just went through a week of really alchemizing and really diving deep into my shadow so that I could let go of a lot of programs. So I was feeling pretty good. And then I just remember all of a sudden my state, I went inside and had to do something, and I don't know if I got triggered or what happened, but all of a sudden my state had changed. And I was just feeling this seething anger, bordering on rage even. And I don't get that a whole bunch. I get more of like the fear and the anxiety, but this anger was coming up. And I was like, what is this? And then my mind was like, oh, we were just feeling so good, and we were just feeling peaceful. And now this damn anger is arising, and this emotion I don't want to be feeling is here again. And then I realized, okay, well, first of all, you're resisting again, so just relax. And I just decided, I'm not going to resist this, and I just went and put my hands on my heart, and I closed my eyes, and I just felt for like 10 minutes, I just took all my consciousness, all my awareness, all my focus, and I brought it right into my heart center. And there was, first of all, the outer shell of the heart. Sometimes that's where we carry our darker emotions, lower emotions, our fear, anxiety, anger. So I realized in the first 5-7 minutes, that's what I was feeling into. I was feeling the anger there and the pain there. But then as I just kept going through and kept going deeper, as I kept feeling deeper into my heart center, something started waking up. This energy really started waking up inside of me. And I was like, what is this? And it was becoming so powerful. Like I was like, whoa. And it was starting to scare the mind, the ego a little bit. The mind was like, this is a little much. And all of a sudden I felt my heart opening. And I felt these vibrations like of just really just love, and just I just became overwhelmed with these feelings of wanting to give and wanting to share this. I reached out to a couple of friends and sent a video of what had just happened. And it was the first time that I had ever consciously opened my heart, that I had ever really stayed in my heart center, through all the darkness, like just stayed there and stayed with it and stayed with it. And all of a sudden, as we get, if we get 2 inches deep into our heart, that's where we feel into the innate goodness of our soul. And this is, as one of my favorite YouTubers, Anna Brown, says, this is our stargate to the ascended realms. This is the opening right here of how we open to source energy. And I had I'd been meditating every day with my hands on my heart. But this was the first time I truly had transformed my inner state through surrendering, first of all, surrendering to the darkness. But secondly, going deep into the heart and staying there. Even when the body was trying to tell me, okay, this isn't working, or this is silly, just lift up your hands, go somewhere, move. When our body's trying to tell us to move and end a meditation, that's our conditioning, that's a program. And I realized that, and I just stayed there. I stayed there with and I had started to get a little anxiety as my heart woke up, because my programming wasn't like used to that. And it was like, oh, this is overriding us, because the heart, guys, love. It overrides all emotion. It really does. So this is your safe place. This is where to go when you're feeling a program, when you're feeling overwhelmed. You go into the heart. And this isn't to say you're doing this as some type of quick fix, or, you're trying to do like a Band-Aid approach. No, when we go into our heart, we're going to have to feel what we're feeling before it opens. That's the thing. When the heart's closed, there's always a program that has it closed. So in order to open it, we go into the heart and we feel into that program. And through feeling it, through surrendering to it, through opening to it, and through loving it eventually, that's when it falls away and the heart comes back open. And that was just a powerful experience. And every day since then, I wake up with my hands in my heart and I say either you call it a mantra or a prayer or just something that gets you in the minds. It just sets your intention for the day. I like to say, God, will you please help me to open my heart and to love myself so that I can love others. And that's it can be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be anything, it can be, help me to find things to appreciate today, God. Help me to feel better than I usually do. Help me to see through your eyes today, God. And help me to open to your grace so that you can speak through me and act through me in all that I do and say. It can be, and you can make up your own. These are just ones that I just make them up in the morning, and whatever spontaneously feels right. And here's the thing. Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you're not going to want to do this. It's happened to me several times, and I'll just be there like, all right, put my hands on my heart, be like, please God help me to love myself and others. And I'll just be tired and because sometimes we wake up grumpy, and I'm like a huge, this is huge for me. I wake up a lot of times on the wrong side of the bed. And so putting my hands on my heart, feeling into my heart center, letting my consciousness drop into my heart first thing in the morning, and then meditating or getting up and journaling or getting right to the yoga mat. It doesn't have to be for long. You could put your hands in your heart while you're still in bed waking up. Meditate for 5-10 minutes. Same with yoga. Just maybe journal. But if we can get ourselves in the heart center right when we wake up, when there's less distortions and less stream of thinking going on, it really helps us to flow through the day in a more harmonious manner. Now, what I will also say is that as we start opening ourselves and as our hearts start opening, we're going to be coming into more energy. We're going to be feeling like we're just flooded with more light. And today I woke up in a really dark, I woke up, I had this, I didn't sleep well, and I had this this, just a little bit of this restless feeling, this angst, this cold, if you, I'm sure you guys can relate. Sometimes you just feel like this, you're just unease, right? Just unease. And so I did the heart mantra, I did a meditation, I did yoga, and one thing I really incorporated today, because as you guys know from watching me, if you're perceptive, which all of you are, if you're watching this, of course you are, I tend to gravitate towards more of a yin energy. Today, I decided what is something yang that I can do to really try to balance myself. And I decided heavy weightlifting today. And it was the first time I had done it in a long time. And it just really felt good. And it felt like it brought my energy into more of a balance. And I have more of this yang energy, more of this Aries energy. Aries is my north node. I'll make a video on that another time. But just this kind of this take charge, get it done energy, where yin is, for me, this is how I interpret it. Yin is just more flowing and a little bit softer, and yin is this, you have to have the light and the dark. In this sense, I'm using dark as powerful and light as the joy, the light, right? So anyway, so after that, this is what I'm 10 minutes in and I haven't even shared what I really want to share yet. Okay. Here's what I wanted to share. So today I'm having lunch with my parents at this really nice restaurant here in town. And because I've been opening my heart, because I've been doing, circulating the energy, because I feel like I brought even more energy in with the weightlifting and brought more of a balance so the Kundalini could flow even more. Oh my gosh, at lunch, I got overwhelmed with energy at one point. I could barely talk. And the nervous system didn't have the endurance or the strength yet to deal with this much light, this much Kundalini, whatever you want to call it. And so, because I have the framework and because I understand what's going on, I didn't like panic or freak out like I would have, even a year ago. I just was like I saw it as a good sign because I was like, oh, this is great. This is transforming me. This is a good sign. And it felt, the mind will interpret it as intense anxiety. But from a deeper place, I intuited, no, this is just energy. This is just good energy that my body and my mind and my nervous system are trying to adapt to. So as we start calling in more light and opening our heart and doing the exercises, whether it's yoga, strength training, running, walking, as we start, working with the body and allowing the energy to flow more, you're gonna have these times where there's gonna be these unprecedented and a little bit overwhelming surges of energy. And like today at one point, I told my parents, I was like, I feel like I'm about to explode. And it's cool that I'm like so close to my parents now that they just got it. They get it. It was like bizarre. They didn't say, what do you mean you're gonna explode? What are you talking about? They were just like, oh yeah, that's normal. That it was like a really kind of a cool moment. And they didn't worry or anything either, because I feel like a year ago, it might have been more of like a sign of alarm. Maybe even not a year, maybe like 2 years ago. 2 years ago for sure, as you've seen from my other videos. But I just wanted to make the point that let's embrace the changes that are happening energetically. Whether it is you're getting a lot more surges coming through and it feels like anxiety and it feels like a little bit too much. Maybe you're like a little bit, you're shaking, you're racy, you're feeling manic, or maybe you're going through an extended dark night of the soul where the energy is just super dark for longer than you wanted. Or maybe you're in that middle phase where it's not quite dark night of the soul, but you wouldn't say that you're on the other side of healing either. And that phase there's so much uncertainty and unknown with how long that lasts. That kind of middle ground phase where you just don't know, and you might never, but you don't know on any level what's going to show up for you. Like, who's going to show up today? Am I going to be needing to be in bed and crying all day, or am I going to want to go engage with life a little bit? Am I, is my body going to just ask me for just to like completely be a recluse and a hermit, or does my body want to go engage with some type of working out? And this can vary and fluctuate for a long time. So as we exit the dark night of the soul, and as we start to get more accustomed and more adapted to our newer state of consciousness and the energy within us, we're going to have days that are just all over the place. And sometimes we're going to feel like we're regressing and going backwards, but that's never possible, and it's not true, because it's just a helix, like I've said a few times. You're going to just come through the symptoms, the subconscious patterns, your shadow, the things that are just, your main things that you're working through in this life cycle. You're going to go through them many times at many different levels of consciousness. So it can feel like we're going backwards because I'm dealing with this again. I'm dealing with this symptom again. I'm dealing with this pattern again. You are, but you're dealing with it from a new place of awareness, so that you can let go of it, one layer at a time. Because if all of this was foisted on us at once, it wouldn't work. We would just literally implode. It would be too much. The Kundalini, spiritual awakening is always allowing you to live at your very edge of what you can process. If sometimes I've noticed through this experience, I'm always getting the exact amount I can process, maybe a little bit more. At the very beginning, a lot more. And that's where all the freaking chaos and just the energetic overwhelm and the Kundalini syndrome, that's what happens there. You're just you don't have any framework, you don't have the tools at all, and you're just submerged in it, and it's just very overwhelming. But as we grow and adapt and acquire the tools and the inner movement of surrender, we realize we're still at the very edge of our evolutionary capability in every single moment. Every single moment we're always, every single moment becomes so profound during an awakening. Every moment really counts. So, embrace wherever you're at, because you're getting as much as you can possibly handle in that moment. And that's why you're feeling the way you do. And if you were given more, you wouldn't be able to process it and integrate it in a useful and helpful way. Because ultimately, this is not happening just for you, it's happening for everybody. This is a collective movement. And so as a collective movement, we need each part to be at its highest functioning capacity to be able to serve the whole. So that's why things kind of move the way they do. They're moving for your highest good, even on your human level, at the ground level on earth here. Sometimes it won't always feel like it. But if things went how we thought we wanted them to, it couldn't happen like that, because it's just too much. It's too much to integrate. It's too much to let go of. This is happening on a cellular level. This is happening on a very physical level. And the body and the mind can only take so much. So that's my video today. A little all over the place. Things have not been feeling very linear today, but that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you took away something from it about just, learning how to kind of shift your mentality on things that feel like they're happening to you, they're happening for you and your highest evolutionary growth. So hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Namaste.